Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Real Housewives of Potomac because we've got a big premiere coming up here shortly, just around the corner, just in a hop, skip, and a jump, you guys. And so Gizelle, of course, is doing the interviews, is doing the press for the new season, and there's some interesting takeaways from said interview. And I gotta say, this energy from Gizelle, that's love and that's light and all these things, that has great things to say about the people. I was shook. What was the problem? The friendship with Robyn. Was that the issue the whole time? Because I felt like on the show they brought out the worst in each other. I felt like it was easier to be mean girls when you have your bestie right there and they can do all of your dirty work for you, right? And you could just sit there and look pretty. Like it's a totally different Gizelle. Now that people gotta clock in. Now that the people have to clock in to work and actually earn the paycheck, that is what the fans want to see, right? So, nonetheless, Gizelle asked about Stacey, asked, if she's a liar, and Gizelle was like, I wouldn't say she's a liar, but she lies. And now that I know and we can confirm that she lies, I can meet her where she's at, right? Then she was asked about Wendy, and she said that the friendship is still going. However, it's thriving and healing, as something she said that Ashley would often say. She said about her love life, she was asked about a follow-up of Love Hotel, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Just I was not looking for love with no Love Hotel. Like, let's be honest, y'all. She was there for the check and the good time and the free vacation. Like, let's talk about it, y'all. But she said that, she's outside allegedly. She said she's allegedly outside. She said she's allegedly dating. She said that, and it was brought up about her being an empty nester and stuff. So, and they were trying to ask if she had plans after. And Gizelle was like, well, don't be telling my business and this and that. So we don't know. We don't know. She was asked about Mauricio being in the trailer from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who is Kyle Richards' estranged husband, right? And so Gizelle said that on one of their cast trips, allegedly Mauricio lives there or has a place there, and they happened to run into him on the street. But she said as far as anything romantic, as far as anything more than friendship or anything more than being platonic, she said she, quote, would never do that. She said she would never do that. However, the trailer was trying to insinuate some other things, y'all. The trailer was being super duper messy. Gizelle also talked about what she thought of the Newbies, and Gizelle had brought up how she brought in the British-speaking lady, like that was one of the people she brought on, and she low-key spilled tea that production usually doesn't let Gizelle bring on her own friends, but basically infers that other cast members have been allowed to bring on their own friends onto their show. So I thought that was an interesting little dig there, you guys. And then she was asked about Karen HUGER. She was asked about Karen HUGER, the Grande Dame, right? And asked about, they mentioned how Gizelle was writing a letter to Karen in the trailer and wanted to know what Gizelle's relationship with Karen was, right? And so she said she maintained contact with Karen HUGER. So I don't know if they were pen pals or not, but Gizelle made it known that there was a mutual friend And between her and this mutual friend and Ray, she was able to constantly be in communication with Karen HUGER while Karen HUGER was in jail, right? And then Gizelle confirmed that Karen HUGER and her have been in contact since Karen has been out of jail. And said that there are some things that are going to be up the sleeve this season, a few surprises. She made it a note to say, Gizelle, that the season finale is going to be big. I'm wondering if Karen HUGER is going to be a part of that. And Gizelle made it a note to say that she hopes that Karen HUGER is a part of season 11, but noted that they have to get through season 10 first. Now, the biggest question that I felt was Gizelle's questions about Monique Samuels. And this is obviously Monique Samuels' big return to the little check at Bravo after 5 seasons. The last time we saw her at Bravo was when she infamously had the binder and had all of the tabs and everything else, y'all. And ever since then, everybody's trying to bring variations of binders and tabs and postcards and poster boards and the whole 9 of receipts to the reunion and all of the things. So Gizelle is asked, what do people think about this, right? And so Gizelle was like, listen, looky here, I'm not going to hold y'all. At first, I was kind of like, no. Like, let's just talk about it, right? But Gizelle said that Ashley had been in contact, had been in communication with Monique this whole time and knew what Monique was going through, right? And Gizelle made it a point to say, you know, Monique, there's a lot has changed for her in 5 years. She's gone through a divorce. She no longer lives in Potomac. She no longer has 4 homes, but she has a home. And I knew this is what it was about the whole time. The whole time, this is why Gizelle did not like Monique. Because Monique was married. Monique bragged upon first meeting Gizelle that she had 4 homes and everything else, and that set the tone immediately. Gizelle was not liking her. Gizelle was not featuring her. But now that Monique is divorced, now that Monique is a single woman, now that Monique does not have 4 homes anymore, now Gizelle and her can be cool. Now Gizelle and her, now she can extend the olive branch. Like, make it make sense. What? And so Gizelle said that people are going to be surprised as far as what Monique is going to be back on the show for and what she's going to bring to the season and everything else. So, but she said she's happy to have her back. Don't tell this to Candace Dillard. What is Candace going to think about this, right? Because I heard it, Candace is coming out with a podcast. I am curious to know what her thoughts are on Gizelle being excited that Monique is back, you guys. But I feel like even with Gizelle's disdain for Monique, I still feel to this day that she wanted Candace gone first before Monique. And because of what happened with the fight, with the altercation, it was an easy out to basically, you know, ice Monique out at that point. But I always felt, even if Gizelle didn't like Monique, she could still, like, work with her and everything else. I felt like it got to a point with Gizelle and Candace a long time ago where Gizelle was just flat out sick of Candace and just couldn't stand it. And it took Candace a while to, like, realize that. Right? But I felt like the plan always, and I think it's been alluded to by other housewives, I thought the plan that season was always to take out Candace and ice out Candace from the show. But then the fight happened and people switched gears and was like, well, you know, since, you know, Monique has offered her up on the silver platter, let's say that we're too scared to film with Monique and the bodyguards and everything else. Remember that? Remember that craziness? So nonetheless, we will see what this season brings. I'm excited for Monique to come back. The other thing that Gizelle was asked, she said that she's probably thought about quitting the show 17 different times or whatever else, because she said every season there's always a point to where she debates quitting. And I always wonder if it's always at the point if Gizelle's in the hot seat about something, right? Whether it's about Jamal Bryant, whether it's about something else or a messy storyline, that maybe that's like at the point where she's like, you know what, maybe I should tap out. Maybe I should tap out because I'm sick of the storyline. Maybe I should quit. But I feel like every housewife has that, right? The going is good if you're not the drama. But if the drama is centered around you, then suddenly you're debating if you want to continue filming the show anymore. No. Everybody's got to earn their check. And it seems like this Gizelle without Robyn is a blessing. She spoke on Robyn saying Robyn's lukewarm about returning, but I thought Robyn was let go. Why do they keep presenting this as though it was Robyn's decision? No. I refuse to believe that. They had to break up the Gizelle and Robyn alliance because the show was getting stagnant. The show was getting stagnant, and it was obvious and it was clear as day. We were not going to fully see Gizelle in all of, Gizelle's glory, because the more her and Robyn were in sync with however they were going to move that season, it wasn't, cohesive to watch the women interact as a group. It was very divided. It was very annoying to watch. So without having that component, you now have a situation where everybody's got to earn their check now. And you don't have somebody that is right there, doing all your dirty work for you. Or as people would, think also that allegedly Robyn was a minion. So then also she was asked finally about what is the status. As you know, there's allegedly some litigation with Eminem regarding the Reasonably Shady podcast that Robyn and Gizelle have and everything else. She said that there's still a lot of stuff going on legally. And she was told that I think she said it's still going to go into potentially the next year or two, that they still have to finalize stuff with the patent office and all of this other foolishness, that it is going to be still at least another year or so, or potentially 2 more years, that this is still going to be continuing on. No. So nonetheless, there is that. So that is it. That is all. That's todos es final. It is finito. It is the end of the road. It is the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.